Hi, Julie Torrens here. I've got some spray inks and I've got some paper. It's from a dictionary and I am just hitting it with some green sprays. Now maybe this one's not going to work. That's okay. I will work on that. This one's got a little bit of shimmer to it. But just use what you have. If you don't have spray inks, then get yourself some watercolor or get your acrylics going. Whatever you got. Whatever you've got. It'll be fine. I knew I would grab that twice. Let's grab another one. There we go. And this one. Just getting some green on there. Now this one has some blops. So I'm just going to take a paper towel and pick up the blops. Because on this little fine paper, they'll dry, maybe sticky. So I don't want that. All right, I'm going to set these aside to dry. And that's all the spraying we're going to do. But it's fun, isn't it? Okay, remember this? We worked on this together. And I'm scooching up. We're going to work on it some more. We worked on the first one. This is just a cereal box. And the reason why I'm using the cereal box is because not everyone has a junk journal. And so we are going to use what you have. And not really a junk journal as much as an art journal is kind of what I'm going for here. I think I've got my desk messy enough from the sprays. But let's get some paints out here. I've got some bright colored paints. They're acrylics. So again, use what you have. I think I'm in frame. And I'm going to grab a brush. One of my acrylic brushes. I do not mix my acrylic brushes up with my watercolor brushes and vice versa. And I'm just going to take some of this brown or tan color, and I want this on the bottom. Just like this. Now I took the cereal box and I put some gesso on it. I used the Liquitex Basic. Use what you have. If you don't have gesso, you can use white acrylic. I just did it to lighten up the color a little bit. But the fact that it still has some brush strokes and stuff, that's fine with me. All right, I've got some blue. And I'm going to put this right on the paper. Couple dots. I've got another blue. And I'm going to put some of that on here. Again, just a couple dots. Good. And I've got this. This is my little concoction of some white paint, acrylic paint, some gesso. And I'm just going to put that on there. Some titanium white that I had from my bargain bowl. All right, here we go. And let's get some of this on here. And I'm just hoping to make kind of a loosey-goosey sky. Art journaling is fun. And do I have art journals? I sure do. Bunches. But not everyone does. And so, would you want to invest the time in altering a book? I've done that. A lot of fun. Or would you want to spend the money on an art journal if you're just not sure it's what you want? Where do you get ideas to put in your art journal? All over. All over. Okay, this is the color that I put towards the bottom. So I think I'll just keep that tradition and give it a drop on each side. And then this was the color that I put more towards the top. And so I think I'll just keep that going. And I'm going to give it a few more squiggles of the white. Why not? And I do want to close this up because it is just a pinpoint, and I would rather it not get gluing itself shut. And I would like to kind of cover up the cardboard. If I don't get it perfect, that's fine. Don't worry about it. There's nothing to worry about. Do you hear me? Nothing. What do we have going on here? A little bit of paint, whatever you have. A little bit of acrylic paint and a cereal box. I mean, you know, what is there to worry about? If somebody came to you crying, I ruined a cereal box. You know, it's just not worth it. Okay, I'm rinsing that brush off. And I'm going to give it a little bit of a dry. Got a stencil here. This is a PM Artist Studio stencil, and it's from Carrie the Crafter. He's the one that designed it. I just want to put some leaves. Do I want them green? No. I've got this tan here. That's fine. I think I'm going to add to it just a touch of yellow. It got watery from the brush. The brown did. See? It's a little watery. I've got a little sponge, and I used it for inks. It might still come up inky. I don't care. These leaves are what I call shadow leaves. So they're not really, when I do them, they're not a color that is a necessarily a leafy color, but more of a subtle background color. And might these be bouncy and bleedy, and that's fine. They're just shadows. It's sort of like, did I see it or didn't I? And when your eye picks up on them, it might even change the color on you. You know, your brain does fill in more than you realize. Okay, now I'm just going to add a few more up high. Just a little more paint. There. Okay, that's good. Real good. Oh, I almost threw that away. Wouldn't that just be something? I'm going to set that down for a second and give my hands just a quick wipe. And that is very, very good. Okay. Now, what's next? I've got some more paper. Hang on. Some more of this dictionary page. And I'm going to tear off the wide margin. And I tore the margin off of the ones that I sprayed as well. And hopefully they will be drying. Good. Okay. Now I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm looking. I'm going to fold it in half again. I'm looking at size. I'm going to cut these into leaves. I want them bigger than these, but I don't want them still too big. So just to make it a little more manageable, I just cut a piece off, and I'm just making a leaf shape, an almond shape. Good. And let's do this again. They're not exactly the same. Yeah, you're right. Not gonna be. But then in nature, that's how leaves are. I've got this much left. So this is ragged. I'm just gonna cut it off. And now I'm gonna make just a little bit bigger. I won't have that many. Okay, good. And what am I going to do with these? More background leaves. Now the acrylic paint is almost dry. There's a few little wet spots. I'm not worrying about them. I've got some, I've got some gel matte medium, and I'm going to use that same brush that I was painting with. And I'm going to start layering some of these leaves. I just made these few larger ones, and I want them towards the bottom. Leaves are bigger at the bottom than at the top. And so I'm going to put one here. Now, acrylic paint and gel medium are very, very similar. Mostly, gel medium is just acrylic paint without any pigment. Now, dictionary page is thin. It is not thin enough that I could just set this on a dry spot and put this on top. It won't stick. It will not stick. You need to get it on the top and the bottom. Okay, those are our bigger ones. Now I'm just going to add a few of these just willy-nilly. That one's upside down as far as the words go. I do not care. Okay. Good. I can feel it's the water in the brush coming out, and it's thinning out my gel medium a little bit, so I'm giving it a dunk. Good. Fun, huh? Are you having fun? Good. I am too. Okay. Got a couple more, and they can overlap a little bit. Leaves overlap all the time. These are still shadow leaves. You would be surprised how many shadow leaves you can get away with. Okay, I think we've got it all good. Now I'm going to take my gel medium and I'm going to get it over this whole brown area. I do want it eventually all covered in gel medium. Now last time we had more challenges with drying. In the video one before that, I used the other cereal box. I don't think we're going to have anywhere near as much because our gesso and everything was more wet because we started from scratch. But if you watched that video, you remember that I went ahead and gessoed both pieces of cardboard, both pieces of the cereal box. So if you haven't seen that video, I will link it to the bottom of this one. Oh, now my fingers stuck and picked up some of that blue. Does it bother me? It doesn't. But let's say it did. Then I would just take a little, just the littlest amount of paint I can get away with and give it a rub. Just like that. See? So don't worry about that. Will it be covered? I don't know. All right, I think we're in frame. I think we're doing good. I'm going to just set the lid on top of there and set my brush aside for right this minute. And I do not believe those green leaves, well, the green that we did, are dry yet. But let's get maybe some of the flowers on. What do you say? Because we're going to do some flowers and it's not going to be hard. All right. Got my paper plate. I am going to get some of this pink. And this underneath, that's dry. Old dry. But I knew I could reuse my paper plate. And an orange. How about that? And a yellow. I did give all of these a good shake before I turn the camera on. All right, I'm going to leave that one brush that I'm just feeling around in my, here we go, in my acrylic brushes for a new one. Not going to wet this brush this time. Nope. Now, I am going to, what I call double load. I'm going to put this side of my brush in the yellow. I'm going to put this side of my brush in the pink. Since I want the middle of the flower-ish to be yellow, I'm going to put it in the center, and then I'm just going around in a circle. Yep. Now I'm going to take the yellow side and just give it a few taps. I'm going to do the same thing. Yellow, pink, double loaded. And tap, tap, tap. Nice. Okay. Little pink. Little yellow. Give her a swirl. I'm doing it the wrong way. Go this way. There we go. Little tap, tap. Okay, good. Rinse my brush. I do have 2 water sources, always, whether I'm doing acrylic or watercolor. I'm going to dry this brush off good. And I can't just dab, dab like when I'm doing watercolor. I got to wring that brush out a little bit. Okay. Now, I've got this orange. And let's see. I don't want more yellow. This orange is the one I used. So this one I will add. And I'm just going to put a couple drops of that on there. I'm going to take this brush that I was just using. I'm going to put one end in the darker orange, one end in the lighter orange. And I'm using the dark one at the bottom, and I'm just going to go wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Just like that. Reload. Did the loading it up the same way. Pretty, huh? Couple more. Going right over the pink. Fine with me. And reload. Good. Now I'm just going to load the lighter one, and I'm going to do like this. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Can you see? We're stuck. There we go. Again, with the lighter color. Boop, boop, boop. Good. Maybe one here. Okay. I'm liking that real well. Super duper. Okay, rinse my brush. I'm really washing it out good. Make sure you can see. Wring my brush out. And I'm going to set that aside. We're going to let this dry. Okay, been about 20 minutes. These are dry. And so I'm going to cut these into some leaf shapes. And I think on this one, I'm going to do a little bit smaller. And then on the other one, I'm going to do a little bit bigger. Yep. So I don't even think I took time to ask you yet how you all are. And I do hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. Now this spray ink, I'm going to make some a little bit different shape. I'm going to make these long. The spray inks are water based, and they are more like watercolor paint. When they dry, they're still going to react if they get wet again, compared to acrylics. If it gets wet again, once it's dry, no, that's it. Okay. Really don't think I need this big of a leaf. And I've got that little wet spot right there. I'm going to just, there. So I'm going to do the same fold. And maybe I'll make these first ones small. Like that. And we need leaves of all sizes. And I might have too many leaves. I don't care. We'll use them on some other project. Leaves never go to waste. All right, and then I think I'll do this one like I did the other one and just make some longer leaves. Okay, good. Now I'm going to go back to Gel Matte Medium, which over the 20 minutes has been drying. And I'm going to just go in here. And now I'm going to add some green leaves. And if I get gel medium on top, okay. If I don't, okay. But let's just get some leaves on. If I don't get gel medium on top, then the leaves will keep their shimmer. And I can always go back if I want. And like if little bits are sticking up. Get some of these bigger leaves. Still not wide enough. I know. You might be thinking, boy, you got a lot of leaves going on there. Yeah, but I've learned over the years, it's not as many as you think. It really isn't. Now, I can take some of these. Let's just set this down for a second. And I can just give it like a little bit of a circle bottom. And then I can find a place like this. Let's get it there. And just bump it up against a flower. Do you see what I mean? They're flexible. We can do that again. Get a little gel medium here. Did I get? Yeah, I think I did. See? We can do that at the top and at the bottom and put one in here. See? You may say, well, that's not perfect. Doesn't need to be perfect. Nothing needs to be perfect. Oops. Now there could be, well, there'll be some of these leaves. I'm going to make another circle cut. There will be some of these leaves left over. And that's fine. We can put them in, or as I say, just use them in a different project, huh? All right, I'm going to put a leaf up here. And then I'm going to cut the bottom off like a circle. And put it here. Like that. See? How are we doing? I'm just taking a look. Maybe something around this area. Maybe something up here. Okay. Now, this flower has a bit of a jig-jag. So I'm going to try and replicate that. Close enough. Good. Uh-huh. I think we're doing good. I really do. Let's see. We need to, again, let this dry. All right. This has had about a half hour to dry. I want to beef up the colors. I know that these paints are going to be transparent. That's just the kind of paint they are. So I am just going to put just a dab of the colors right on this palette. It's a paper plate. Okay, I'm missing one, a dark orange. Here it is. Oh, sorry. There, that better? I'll tell you, it's not evening. It is the middle of the afternoon. The sun should be high, but it's not. All right, I am just grabbing a brush. Wet, dab, dab. Oh, that brush was full of paint. I am sure my grandson was enjoying himself. Well, I'm going to let that soak. I'm going to grab another one. I sure am. Quick, 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 Julie. Okay, here we go. Wet and dab, dab. I'm just going to put another coat on. So I like the shapes that we've got going. So I'm not going to try to redo the shapes. I just want to get another coat on. Will it help? No, it won't hurt. Am I convinced that it'll help though? I think it will a little bit. This is that dark orange. And again, I'm not trying to go exactly where this was. I am just darkening it up. All right, rinsed and rinsed. Now I'm going to go with this lighter orange. I may have been reinventing that. I'm not sure. Putting another coat on is also going to give it a little bit of a different look. You know, like the brush strokes are going to be in a different place. So all of that's good. It's fun. I like working art journal projects. I really do. Okay, rinse well. And going for the pink. Good. Now I don't want to put it on thick. That's a mistake, unless you like that look. But I would rather put on multiple coats than to lay it on real thick. Now they've got some new, well, at least they're new to me, paints that are acrylic, super thick. They come in a tube. And what I've seen done with them, when they're done, I'm going to rinse again, is they, to me, it looks kind of like frosting, you know, like the designs that you would pipe out with frosting, and some of the tools that they're using remind me of that as well. These leaves, some of them, have a really nice shimmer, and I like that. I'm just, instead of having swirly brush strokes in the centers, I want to have dabbity ones, just to have it different than the petals, than the, you know, the round part. Okay, I think that we've accomplished that. I'll give it a rinse. We started with the dark, and as I say, this particular paint does dry pretty fast, so I can go ahead and just see about a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna go again with the orange, the lighter orange. I wrang my brush out because this is a watercolor brush. I bought like 5 of these brushes all at the same time from the warehouse, the craft warehouse that I go to, which has all these like overruns and mistakes and whatever, broken packaging. Well, these are Daler-Rowney brushes, and I think what the matter, I'm not positive, but a lot of them you couldn't read the handles. So, you know, I don't know if that was the problem. It could have been anything. It could have just been a broken case. But it really holds the water. Okay, good. I think we're good. All right. We are going to let this dry. Okay, she's dry. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get the edge. I want, not so much that I want to distress it, but I'm using a brown shade. It's sepia. And I just want to get the edge that looks like cardboard. These little touches can really make a difference. Okay, I think we've got that. I'm liking it. And now we're going to be doodling it up. So I've got my Poscas. I've got some, I think they call them fine. I don't know what they call them. Let's see. See, they don't really say on this one. But I think when I buy them, it says fine. But these are even finer. And the way I tell the difference is this has a clear clip and this has a black clip. Okay, enough of that. I'm going to take a green and I'm going to make a few stems. Like right there. And there. And here. And here. and here. And I'm going to add a little something at the bottom of that bud. That bud you can't really see, but we can see the stem. How's that? Okay, that's good. Okay, now a pink. Give it a shake. And I'm going around this edge. I am not looking for perfection. I'm just putting an edge on. Yep. I think it will help just attach everything. All right, now I have a darker orange, and this is the same. Oh, this one's a fine tip, okay, and a lighter orange. So I'm gonna take this lighter orange. Is it the same color as that? No, it's really more of a peach tone. Feels like it's getting a little dry, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna give it a bit of a outline here, like a jig-jag. I am not matching it up at all. This is a bud, so I'm just going to make it kind of bud shaped. There we go. Good. A little bit of bud marks. A little bit of bud marks. And here. Good. Okay. Now I'm going to take the darker orange. Now, how did I mix these up? I didn't. Okay. And I'm going to kind of put some jig-jaggy lines where I had the darker color. And I can even make some lines going this way. And a few here. Nice. Okay. Yellow. Now we are just getting started on the doodling part. And I'm going around and around and around. Just like that. Good. All right, how about a green? I'm picking out the lighter green. And I'm gonna pick out some leaves. And I want this leaf on top of the other leaf. So this leaf is gonna be that shape. Now I'm not going around the ones that are plain book page. At least not yet. Not to say I won't do something with them. I might. That one got a little wide. That's fine. Fill it in. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to give the bud, I think I have another one like that. No? Okay. Nice. All right. Now, on the pink, I'm going to add some brown. I like the combination of pink and brown. And this is the finer tip. Ooh, it gave me a blob. And I'm just going to go little scallops around like that. And then I think I'm going to make lines. I love it. Little scallops. Now, if you don't have Poscas, use your acrylic markers. If you don't have acrylic markers, just make sure that you are super dry, like overnight dry. This has not been overnight dry. And then you can use your alcohol markers. Yep. Nice. I am going to take, let's see, maybe some red. Can I grab it? And I'm going to put some balls around. Now these are not matching up to the lines that I made with the brown. I'm just putting them around the edge. Just want some little details so I don't drag my arm through. I'm making holes in them. I want them solid. Cool. And here. Now I didn't have a specific plan of how I was going to do doodling. I still don't. I'm just looking at it and then running with however I feel. Okay. I'm liking that really well. Oh, green. Did you see that and I didn't? Well, thanks for letting me know. Maybe more like that. We don't know. Okay. Now, how about these guys or the leaves? What should we do next? I think I want to add a little more to the leaves. I'm going to take this lighter green, but this time I'm using, ooh, some of these are just flooding. Sometimes that means I didn't shake them enough. Nice. How about the centers of these? Those look like some pretty blank spaces. I've got orange. I'm making dots, but I'm putting them far enough apart, and I'm even going outside a little bit. This can be a little bigger. Whoops. There. I'm liking that better. Okay, these guys. I want to do a little something with them. Maybe white. This is a heavy white. Let's see. This is a thinner white. The red dots are still wet. So I'm being careful. Turning it around. Oh, I dropped the lid. How's that looking? Looking good. I probably will add some more to that one. Bring it around. Oh, I'm liking it. I like that. Okay, that lid fell on the floor. If I can see it, that will be great. I can't. Well, hopefully it won't dry out before we're all done. Okay. Well, you know what? Got a thought about this. Turning this back around. And I think I'm going to go around all these red ones with some kind of circles. I'm not trying to get them perfect, just more marks. Good. That went fast. How about this one? Little activation there. I hope that you grab a piece of cardboard, food packaging, maybe a forgotten file folder that nobody wants, and, you know, give it a try. See what you think. It can really help you decide if maybe you would like to get an art journal going. Yeah, I hope that you think about that. Okay, well, I'm going to go look for that cap. Found the cap. Now, where are we going to go with this? I've got a word on here, and it's going to be bloom. Let's see, do I have a scratch sheet of paper here? You'd think. How about the back of this? I want it to be B-L-O-O-M. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters. Good. So I need to put that O in the middle. Okay. That pen was not making me happy. All right, I am going to put the O right here in the middle. I am not a calligrapher person. I am not a person that does a lot of lettering. It's just my own thing. And I'm just making it a little bit thicker. So it's B-L-O, so here's an O. And here's going to be the M. And so this is an L. A little crooked, huh? That's okay. And the B. I think this L could be just a little bit more robust. There. Kind of crookedy? I don't care. I'm going to bring this down just a little. And I'm going to bring this down just a little. Make this a little more heavy. Good, good, good. Alrighty. I'm going to just kind of let that sit. I'm going to turn this around. And I'm going to get my fine line black. And I want some more little designs. And I think I'm just going to go like this. And I'm going to put a little V shape, which is upside down right now. Like that. Another one. I like that. Turn it around. I like that very much. Okay. Now what? We need more doodles. I'm going to go through, I'm going to turn it around again. And I'm going to circle these red dots. That perked it up, didn't it? All right, I think I'm going to take the black and do a little more in these leaves. Yes, that looks very nice to me. Okay. Now, hopefully, these will kind of dry for me. I'm going to grab, this is a heavy white. I had a skinny white. And I'm going to go over my bloom letters. Give it a bit of a shake. This surface is bumpy. So that's part of the jig-jag of these lines, but that's fine. It works out quite nice. Now, right in here, it's picking up the green because remember that spray reactivates. So anywhere that I can see an awful lot of the green showing through, I'm just going over it again. And I may have to wait till it's dry and go over it again. It's worth it. It's worth it. I like that bloom. Yes, I do. Okay, the pink flowers look a little lost to me. I'm going to grab a color we don't have on there, and that is purple. And I'm using the narrower, the skinnier of the two. And I think what I'm going to do is go between the brown lines. How we doing? Okay? I think so. I think so. All right, between the brown lines. Nice. I do like that better. I think that perked it up. Okay. I want to put a border. Yes, I do. Grabbing the black, and I think I'm going to start at the bottom, wavy line, and then scallop. Okay. Now it's a border. It's going to go right on top of all this. Wavy line. And now a scallop. Don't be afraid of going on top of your work. It'll be nice. If you really feel a little bit scared about going on top, did I touch this? I think I did. I'm just going to make it a little thicker. There. And a wavy line. You can use, maybe if you have a border stencil or a border rubber stamp, do that. I like that. Yes, I do. I'm going to put some circles just in these places that is like a hill. Well, I think this is great. I am definitely going to hang it up. I think it's cheerful. I hope that you found this helpful, inspirational. It was a lot of fun for me, and I hope it was fun for you. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, only about 25% of my viewers are subscribed. So today's the day. Go ahead and hit that subscribe. Over here, another video is going to pop up that's picked out for you, and I'm going to just add a few pictures at the end.